Hello and welcome, Shady Fox here with another update news type of video for Mission EVO. And I want to grab the chance and thank you all for all the love and support I get on YouTube and on TapTap. Like, the growth on TapTap is incredible. I know that on YouTube it's going to take some time until the algorithm understands that I'm doing news and upcoming and Fallout and Arena Breakout. If you haven't already, then subscribe on YouTube, follow me on TapTap. Now let's head into the details of today's video, which is Mission EVO, what you see on screen. And there's going to be the soft launch happening tomorrow in Brazil, Mexico, Thailand, and the Philippines, which is going to be, alongside the global open beta, which has been there for a while. In case this is the first time you are seeing Mission EVO, just to give you a brief history, this is basically Project EVO, but it has been renamed. I'm going to get back to that in a moment. But for newcomers, I just want to give you a brief heads up of what this game is about. So it's a massive open world survival game. It's pretty similar to what Undown is offering, for which I did a review. In case you want to watch that, I'm going to put a link up there somewhere into the corner. There are still differences though. So while Undown has a decent storyline, background story and all that stuff, Mission EVO is more focusing on the game mode itself, which is surviving in this big open world. And it is presented in 4 steps or 4 phases, 4 aspects by developers. I'm going to guide you through. So the first one is explore. Basically, this means that there's a big map and you can run around on the map and start gathering loot, start gathering equipment, resources, weapons, clothes and stuff like that. Surprisingly, the second big objective is going to be surviving, because on top of enemy players, you're gonna have zombies and all kind of enemies to fight against. This is also something where there's an overlap between Mission EVO and Undown, but I'm gonna stop comparing the 2 games. I'm just gonna focus on Mission EVO. So surviving, basically you need to make sure you have proper equipment with you, you have decent weapons and such to defend yourself both from other players and NPCs or zombies. The third one is build mode. When I first talked about Mission EVO in my top 10 shooter games video, I remember saying that it's like a combination of PUBG or something like that in terms of graphics and Minecraft, because the idea of the game is, like, let's face it, similar to what Minecraft achieved in terms of survival game mode. You have to build a shelter and that's going to be your home, your base. You can actually lock the door, you can have a code combination so that other players can't access your shelter. In that shelter you're gonna have a chest and you can just store stuff there. Without going into the details, you're gonna have a build mode in which you can place walls and floor and roof and all that stuff. It's pretty cool, it's pretty amazing. Last but not least, you can team up. I'm going to be fully transparent with you guys. I don't have any details on how this specifically works, because the game is currently available on Android only. It has been promised that by the global launch, there's going to be the iOS version as well. So all the information I gathered is based on other gamers' official information. I don't know how the team up works, but basically I guess you can join a clan or a squad or a guild or whatever, and then you can join your forces and attack other players or other raids or squads. And I guess the same applies to NPCs. There are some bosses around the world and you are going to have assistance, so you don't need to tackle with them on your own. Pretty cool. Before I show you some footages and some gameplay and such, I want to highlight this dev blog, which has been released on the 3rd of May, so it's pretty recent. This is where the team explains why Project EVO has been renamed to Mission EVO, and it relates to the evolution. So basically you start with nothing, you're gonna start gathering resources, as I said, weapons, clothes and such, and then you can evolve basically. And this is why they decided to go with Mission EVO or EVO. I'm not sure what's the right pronunciation, by the way. I keep saying Mission EVO. This is what I wanted to show you guys, and let me highlight that Undown is going to come at the end of June, and Mission EVO team is pretty much aware of that. And I know I said I'm going to stop comparing it, so I'm going to stop doing that, but still this is important, because I guess Mission EVO team wants the game to be released before that, for the sake of just having players, early players, and then hoping that those players are going to stick with Mission EVO instead of jumping over to the other game, which we don't say out loud anymore. Alright, and iOS version, that's like critical because we know that many players nowadays play from iPads, I do as well, and iOS version has been promised to come by the global launch. So when the global launch happens, it's going to be Android and iOS at the same time, which is good stuff, Mission EVO team. I don't really like those scenarios where the Android one is launched earlier and then iOS players have to wait for 2 months or 1 month or whatever, because that's kind of a disadvantage for them. Further down, they are also talking about the global punisher, anti-cheat. We know it's pretty important, and then they are thanking the community for all the feedback and support and, you know, just the usual stuff. But enough of talking and having to stare at my face. I'm going to show you some gameplay and some intro scenes. So what you see now, guys, is the new logo, the new Mission EVO logo and its animation. I think it's brilliant. I think it reflects the level of detail the developers put into that game. Oh, I didn't mention that this is the first survival game that has been built under or with Unreal Engine 5. And this footage, this scene, is the latest video that has been put out by the Project EVO team. It's like a patch update video, but I felt like it's a good thing to show you to kind of give an insight into the game. So it's showing some fighting scenes. Here they are indicating that this is how it looks if you start from scratch. So basically you have nothing, no clothes, no weapons, and you're gonna meet other players, and if you do something wrong, you're just gonna get shot. You're gonna have this big map which you can explore. It's pretty big, it's very, very big, and now we can finally see some nice graphics. So this is how the game actually looks like. It's not a cinematic trailer. This is the area you can explore. Now we're gonna see the vehicles. Originally we only had horses, if I'm not mistaken, but then other vehicles have been added as well. So, and this is a nice scene showing that you're gonna have airdrops and you are never safe. You always need to be prepared for a fight because somebody may be jumping out from behind a tree. And basically it's all about surviving, so you gotta be prepared no matter where you're at. I gotta say that the terrains, these zones are really awesome. I think they are very eye-catching. I really like the idea of not spamming it with unrealistic things, so it's pretty close to how this area would look like in reality. And this is where it kind of starts out of nowhere. You are being dropped into a random zone when you revive, and then you're just gonna start from there. And after you appear on the map, you can start making friends or enemies. I mentioned that you're gonna have a shelter with a locked door, but even with that, you are not fully secured. So if you are in the game and your shelter is being attacked, then be prepared to defend it and yourself at all costs. One thing I mentioned is resources and gathering stuff. So you have a pickaxe, for example, that you need to use to gather stone, and also you have an axe which you can use to gather wood. These are the things you need to use to build your shelter. And on top you have medical equipment, you have food, you need all kinds of stuff to keep yourself alive. And no matter where you go on the map, be prepared that danger is going to await you. So you can see these NPCs, I guess, who are already infected and a bit zombified, and there's nobody on Earth you can count on except yourself. It's definitely going to be an exciting one. Don't miss out the journey. You're going to be able to download the game from the official website, from Google App Store, and also from TapTap, so there are plenty of options. Hopefully I made you want to play the game, but even if not, that's perfectly fine. Let me know down in the comment section whether this is something you're going to play or skip. Either way, thanks for watching, and as always, happy gaming. See you in the next one. Bye.